This Jersey girl has no filter.
So are you getting a lot of hate?
Yeah, a lot of hate.
Bullshit.
Welcome to BS with Bella.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of BS with Bella, but things this week are a little different. I'm going to be having a collab episode with one of the interns' podcast called Internalized. Her name is Chloe, and she did a podcast throughout her time here, and me and Amanda, my boss, who does Shorts on Sports and bench riders, we're going to do a collab episode this week. So things are a little different. You won't see the BS with Bella sign, but we kind of talk about post-grad and sports, and Amanda gets into her sports journey, and Chloe talks about her time here and what she is expecting her future to look like. So let's tune into the episode.
Amanda and Bella, welcome to the pod.
Hey, girl.
How are y'all doing today?
So excited to be here. I've been dreaming of this day.
I'm so excited to be on an episode.
I know, it's the last one, which is crazy. These are like
peanut gallery.
I know,
Peanut gallery.
the whole peanut gallery is in here today. This is like the last one ever.
I know.
Well, not ever. We're going to keep it
next
going,
summer,
right?
right?
Yeah. The new intern class,
Yes.
bringing it back.
Yes, Chloe round 3 and Jackie.
Yep. We'll see.
Question mark?
I know, I'm really sad to be leaving. Hopefully the next intern class takes care of y'all.
I'm sad that you guys are leaving.
Yeah, me
It's gonna be
too.
More work for us.
No, literally.
Dun, 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 dun. For me.
Yeah, Amanda's just going to pass everything on to Bella
Yeah,
now.
that's how it's going to
Boss
be.
man now.
I'm boss girl now. I'm Mrs. Boss over here.
All right, well, Olympics start, well, they've already started.
They start Friday at 1:30.
Except that the men's soccer team played last night. Rugby played last night.
Oh.
Can I tell you something about me?
Wait, yeah.
That's what the locker room
I
said.
hate the Olympics.
What?
What?
Wow.
I don't care.
Canceled.
So you actually hate America?
Oh.
You heard it here first.
Hate was a strong word. I do not care about the Olympics. Like,
Okay.
the slightest.
She.
So, like, you're not going to watch anything.
No, unless it comes up on my TikTok. I would not go out
That
of
is,
my
like,
way.
such our generation
I
thing.
would not go out of my way for the Olympics. I'm so sorry.
So, like,
I'm sure
you
they're
don't
interesting.
care about Simone Biles and gymnastics.
I do like Simone Biles and I do like gymnastics, but I'm just not going to like seek it out. I have other things to watch. Too Hot to Handle is back.
I kind of.
True.
I
That's
kind
actually-
of.
okay, that's
I
actually-
do have an opinion. I think I don't really will turn on the Olympics, but like you said, like if it's on, I'll turn it on. But I feel like when I was younger, I kind of was more tied to it because my grandpa ran the torch from New Jersey to New York during the year it was hosted in Atlanta, I believe. So he has an Olympic torch. So a lot of my family on my dad's side is loves the Olympics because that's just it was tied to my grandpa. But I don't know. I just feel like over the years they're adding new things and
Breakdancing this year.
yeah. And then,
I want to watch that.
That's insane.
Just because I think it's so
but
different.
then the locker room this morning was talking about EA Sports being added. No one's gonna just watch people play
Let the
video
men
games.
win.
No.
Do not
No.
give the men the video games.
Who's gonna turn on my TV and be like, I'm so excited to see the Olympics, and they're playing video games?
I feel like I already
I'm
get
not
enough of
gonna
that.
want to watch
My
that.
boyfriend would love
Wow.
I feel like guys already watch it on the YouTube screen where it's
he
the guy is in the corner
Ryan
and
watches
they're
that
playing
while
the
he
game.
eats. It gets me going.
I was watching a movie last night. He was watching the YouTube player.
Ryan has 3 screens on when I come home from work. I'm like, and then he's like, I have a headache. And I'm like, you wonder why? You're watching a guy playing EA Sports, and then you're playing EA Sports, and then you have sports on in the background. I'm like, pick one screen.
It's a whole process. Let me
It is.
backtrack for a second because I feel like it was bad that I said I hate the Olympics. I love the concept. It's beautiful that
It is.
the whole world is in the same spot doing the same thing.
You don't
Love
think they
that.
fight? Do you think
I
they
just
fight?
Do
they fist fight?
Can I tell you something about the Olympics?
I mean, I don't know.
Okay, I did my Shorts on Sports segment last week, and one of the stories is that they shipped in anti-sex beds to the Olympics because they don't want the Olympic players having sex. They're made of cardboard, so if you have
Oh my
two
God, I saw that on
people
TikTok
it,
actually.
it'll
Oh, wait.
collapse.
Wow. I saw that on TikTok actually.
And they're twin size.
Yeah.
These Olympic athletes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I saw there was a runner on
Yes.
TikTok.
And she posted
Yeah.
firm and soft side. And I was like, and she's like, the soft side's not even soft. And I'm like,
that is jeopardizing their abilities.
Yeah.
No,
You need
exactly.
to sleep.
And
have you seen what the
apparently-
surfers are living in? Beach, beautiful, beautiful beach houses. Gorgeous beach houses.
I'm sure it depends on the sport.
Yeah.
But apparently the Olympics is the spot that the most sex happens in the world.
No.
I mean, you country
love
in the
affair.
same place.
I don't know how they do it with all those languages going on, but I guess
You don't need. I was gonna say you
It's
don't
an
need
international
words.
love affair.
It's the eye contact, and you're just point.
I wonder if, you know what, they should make a reality TV show about that. That'd be
Behind the Olympics?
Behind the
Get it?
Olympics.
Because
International love affair.
I wouldn't have even thought of that.
Yeah. There was a table tennis player from like the 94 Olympics that said he had more sex at the Olympics than he has in the rest of his life.
That's
Like the
wild.
Olympics,
Holy
no doubt,
cow.
They shipped in these beds to kind of like, but like, why do you care what they're doing in their off time? Like, if that's their process.
And let them coach
Men
handle
need
that.
the testosterone.
Yes.
They need to keep it
Like
though.
Rob on Call Her Daddy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Man.
I was about to say, I don't know what I'm going to do now with the whole video game situation with like the EA Sports game because I don't have Love Island to watch while my boyfriend's playing a video game.
I'm in a depression about it. It's very upsetting.
Like,
We were just talking about it. You know, there's a fake girl that texts on EA Sports and it'd be like, "Do you want to come to this party?" And like,
is it Audrey?
yeah, but
Yeah.
mine
Or
was
Audrey.
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 I was telling
That's, it's her name. That's her name, right?
I was telling Amanda about that, and she was like, "No way." I was like, "I swear to God," because it came up in Ryan's thing twice.
And you were like, who is this?
No,
I
Okay.
did.
But I feel like I haven't hit that point yet because I've seen all of the stuff on TikTok and I've seen the girls post and be like, I just embarrassed myself.
Yeah.
no. Ryan was like, "Look who texted me," and I'm like, "Oh, so you're just trying to get my gears going? I don't care if it's an AI robot, like flirting with you. Like, please."
Like, we're 4 years into this. I'm fine.
There's going to be a day when men go for AI.
You're sick.
Bye. What?
Like, they think they're messaging a girl on Hinge, Tinder, Bumble. It's AI, and they're going to...
It's called catfish.
Yeah, it's going to happen soon.
Oh,
There
yeah.
is a
I thought
show.
you meant like they were actually going to fall in love with
There
like...
actually was a movie. You know that movie called, like, Her or whatever?
Yes, yeah.
About him falling in love with Siri. This is, like, a real thing. Have you guys not
I'm
seen
actually
that?
so scared.
My parents didn't let me see it in theaters because it was, like, too ahead of its time. Sorry, we've gone
So
off-
now we
off topic.
so now we have to worry about girls in person and on screens
Yes.
I'm not worried
and
about nothing.
robots. This is not good for my confidence.
I've learned that I'm not scared of nothing when it comes to that. Like, I'm not worried about anything. I mean,
If it happens, it happens. Like, it wasn't meant to be.
yeah, and I can find better easily. Snapping my fingers. So,
Oh, Ryan's not listening.
oh, he knows. I tell him that I'm God. Like, I'm a treasure. So, I'm a gem. Like, what is there not to love? So, you're just missing out if you mess up. So,
Would y'all ever go on Love Island?
Yes. If I was invited.
So you wouldn't apply. You had to. You
Yeah,
would
I don't
have
think
to
I
be
would seek
invited.
it out myself. But if someone applied me, yeah, I would.
Just hit a year in relationship. And
yeah, I
winks.
know.
Hypothetically, of course. What
Okay,
about you
yeah.
guys?
No, I don't think for my own mental health, after hearing about the rules about Love Island, how you can't take naps, you can only take naps outside, and like just I don't think I could do it, but I would love to be on like, I wish like Big Brother was like still a thing, because I like,
It is.
Big Brother
it
is
is
something.
still
I
a thing,
literally
but
watched
like
an
it's
episode
not,
last night.
but it's, I feel like it's not as popular as it used
No,
to
it's
be.
not.
So like, I feel like if I was on a show like that, I could like rock that.
You would
But-
rock that.
That's like, it's not that popular. No one's like tuning into Big
I
Brother.
didn't know you
really.
couldn't nap. I don't want to go anymore.
You can't nap. You can't
I need a
like
nap.
be like, I'm done, and like go into the bedroom and take a nap. You can't.
Yeah, never mind.
You can't go
Not there.
cry there
Yeah,
either.
no.
Oh yeah, one girl told me she's from New York. She went there. She didn't tell me. She posted a video.
I was about to say.
What? Like,
Okay. Bella knows everyone everywhere.
I was offered a. Well, I'll get back to my second point, but she posted a video and she told me that she's telling me what the hell. She posted a video and she was crying. And she said the hardest part about Love Island was when she like was having a mental breakdown or like needed to be alone. She couldn't go into the bed and like cry. Like they don't let you do that. Like if you
Well,
need
like,
a second to regroup.
That's
like,
why
under the
Rob was
pool.
like, I literally jumped into the pool. He was like, I didn't know where to go.
like drown himself. You see like the finger.
No, I actually thought it was funny when he said on the Call Her Daddy podcast that he like went under there, and the second that he got to the bottom, he was like, wait, they probably think I'm gonna kill myself. Because it's like you're in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like
Where are
can't
you
go
going?
anywhere and cry.
It was a cinematic shot of him with just
It
the
was
fingers
just the fingers.
grasping.
I know, like the grippers. Like
I think honestly, the more I think about it, I think I would just be really jealous, and all my bad sides would come out.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
more
crazy.
of why I
It's like
wouldn't.
meant to evoke that out of you. That's why it works so well.
See, one thing about me is like, I tend to run my mouth when I'm not supposed to, but especially, I don't think they drink really on this show.
No, they said
Towards
that
the end,
they
though.
only have like one drink. But then Leah said that she was
Commentage was
literally wasted at the finale.
yeah, so-
but okay, but the finale makes sense because cameras are like done. Like after.
They probably give them like a loophole on the finale.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Too.
When I drink, I feel like I would get more jealous. And like, it's like when you see that TikTok and it's like that girl bumps into you at the bar and doesn't say, excuse me. It's,
Well, I think that's
me.
maybe that's why they don't let them drink that much because
But it would be
it's already
so interesting.
yeah, but it's already such a high emotion environment.
But they let them drink on The Bachelor. Maybe it's because they don't want them napping. They can't have too many drinks because clearly naps are a problem on Love Island.
I know, what?
I'm so mad at that.
When I saw that TikTok, I was like, yeah, I'm not made for this.
Well, and if you're trying to talk about your feelings all the time, like
Sometimes I need my alone
who
time.
knows where that's going if you have a bunch of alcohol in your system.
Yeah.
And also with like physical attraction, I mean, you're done
That'd
for.
be
You're not
so
gonna be
interesting,
You're
though.
not going to be
Stop them
talking
without alcohol, though.
No, it doesn't, but it'd be heightened.
Yeah, that's true.
But the thing is, though, they're like, we test our relationships in here. Well, test them with alcohol. Drunk words are sober thoughts.
That's actually true.
I heard that multiple
Okay,
times.
Peacock, if you're listening, maybe let them drink.
Send me and Amanda to the villa, please.
Yes. We need a Chicks in the Office like time where 680 the fangirl
Yes.
goes.
Oh my God, I was so jealous. That was like my dream, what they did.
No, I know.
I know.
Going out there just to be on the show for like 15 minutes. Like, that's my vibe.
Well, and just interviewing everyone afterwards. I highly enjoyed that podcast, I'm not going to lie. Just seeing like all the Islanders for once in their real state.
Yeah. Well, all the podcasts are starting to come out now. So like Rob's on
know.
Call Her Daddy, Leah's on Call Her Daddy.
I'm ready for that episode.
Kaylor
Taylor's
was on
on
Vile.
Vile.
File Files. I haven't
listened
watched
to
that
it.
one yet.
Yeah.
I will say,
Yeah.
I
Like-
think she spoke really well for herself.
She did, but it's the same BS that we all know is going to happen. I
Yeah.
acknowledge. I know what I did. I
She
know I'm
basically-
taking a risk.
yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
So does she know like everything that happened in Casa?
No, she didn't watch it.
She wants to watch. Aaron says he wants to watch it with her.
Yeah, but
Oh,
like
great.
I thought that I saw something that she said that she knew Aaron had said I love you to Daniela.
Yeah, she knew that.
But like that wasn't
Yeah, she
that didn't
did.
come out during Love Island.
No, it didn't, but it came out during the Vile Files. She said that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, someone
I
said
remember that.
Someone said it online though that she knew that she said I love
Yeah,
you.
like I think I saw a clip or something.
Yeah, I think she said something in an interview, or I don't know if it was on the Vile Files. Maybe I just made that up, but somewhere online, it was construed that I think Daniela told her after. She knows about it though.
Her whole vibe of the Vile Files, though, was like basically, I'm 22. I have time to make mistakes. I'm going to just like see it through. And if it doesn't work and I get heartbroken, then I still have time to like recover.
That's
It's
kinda
basically- Which is
crazy.
kind of, I get where she's coming
No,
from. though.
yeah.
Like they found this connection on a crazy reality show. She's so young. She might as well see it out for a little bit at least. It's
Who's her
only
PR
been
manager?
2 months. I know, right? I'm sure she doesn't have one yet. But I kind of get what she was saying, and she took accountability for like knowing all these things. I think it was like the best case scenario for her. Now I still hope they break up, but like I think she
Yeah.
went on and like said what she needed to say.
Well, I was shocked when Rob didn't even know about Aaron saying I love you to Daniela.
Or he was playing dumb.
I have a feeling that he actually didn't know.
Really? They were
I mean,
so
I felt
close.
like he was pretty honest like during that whole podcast.
Yeah.
So why would he lie about that?
Someone's
like,
got to
I
give
mean,
the
it's
man
on
new
the
overalls.
screen.
please.
Yeah.
They need to be burned.
What?
Those overalls, like, so he's got to change them up.
I
Like,
like him.
you
I
would.
like him.
You would.
I kind of like that he has to like fully be alone and just in the woods to be with his thoughts.
That's an ick for me.
Like a
But
nature man.
Yeah, no, because I don't do good in the nature. So if I dated someone that was a nature man, yeah, I'm
He
running
literally
for the
said the
woods.
most romantic thing he's ever done was taking a girl to go catch turtles
Turtles at
midnight.
2 a.m.
No, my worst nightmare.
No, but it was kind of cute that he was like, she gets kind of scared because it's so dark, so she has to like lean into me.
I don't think
It's like
Ew,
watching a
ew,
horror
ew.
movie,
That is not
but in the
what
woods.
romantic means.
Also, too, a girl being alone in the woods, catch me never, ever doing
Well,
that.
she wanted to be alone. She'd have Rob.
Oh, yeah, like Rob
If I
can do
had
much
Rob,
if
I'd
there's
be
someone
okay.
coming in the woods.
Okay, but he's a snake wrangler, so he can deal with snakes.
He's good with his hands.
Yeah.
Not when someone's coming in through the woods with like. No.
Okay, Ryan, don't take Bella into the woods.
No, he knows better. My mom's the same way. We only say glamping. That's the only thing we'll do. That's an RV.
I get that. No, I get that.
You know, actually, now that I think about it, my brother,
Oh no, I'm so scared.
my brother, he moved to California, LA, and he's very like LA now. And
he
was,
is?
like, trying. Yes. Oh
Like
my gosh.
influencer LA?
No, not that kind of LA.
Just
very,
like outfit chic.
yeah, hippie almost.
Yeah.
He was looking for a job a couple of months ago, and he was having a really hard time finding one. And so he called me, and he's like, "I'm going into the woods." And I was like, "What do you mean?"
What?
He's like, "I need to think." He pulled a Rob. He literally drove into the woods in California, stayed 2 nights, camped alone by himself with his thoughts to figure out his next move in life. A week later, he got a job.
It works.
It works.
Catch me
He
going in the
actually
woods next week.
Just broke up with his girlfriend as well.
That's
And
a
he
good
said he's
call.
going back into the woods.
I mean, okay, I respect a man that will be like, I need to be completely alone to be with my thoughts. Like, for you to admit that you need that to actually process your life, respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
I'm that way.
Because at least, yeah, same. Like, the whole journaling thing, I need that.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't have that, I would not do well.
I can't really spell, so.
You really can't.
I can't. I'm so
No, but
bad.
like, a journal's for you. Like, you would know what you were saying, even if you couldn't spell it.
My mom tells me I need to journal, but then I get bored of it. My brain's like always going. So
But I feel
need,
like your journals would be like, they should be in a museum.
What,
Because
mine?
Yes, because you just spit fire thoughts. Like, I think that they'd be so funny.
A podcast is kind of a journal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An audio journal.
My mom told me I should listen to audiobooks, but then I also zone out during those.
No,
too.
I get that. I get
My
that
mom
for
like gave me like a whole list of things I should do when I moved and like, you know, be an adult, you
Yeah.
know, this whole adulting thing. And she's like, you should like, you know, like get a journal. I'm like, no. She's like, you should listen to audiobooks. I'm like, no. Like, I don't read. Everyone's like, you should start reading. And I'm like, I like hate sitting and reading a book. Like, I just can't do it.
Well, yeah, and I also
I have the mindset of a goldfish. Like, I really do.
With podcasts, I like watching it.
Yeah, see, like I can do like I love watching videos. If it was like a video book, maybe I could.
A video book.
Like,
Is
you
that
know-
a movie?
Yeah,
I was like, okay, so reading it ends with us. You're just waiting for the movie to come
pretty
out.
much. You know, a movie. I need a movie of a book.
That's funny. Okay, going into adulting.
No.
Wow, the sigh is crazy. So Bella just started at 680 in June, right? Yeah.
Yep.
June.
June
So she
1st.
graduated from Coastal Carolina. This is first job post grad.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda has been here, well, since last year,
Yeah, like a year and a half.
a year and a half.
Yeah.
Not first job. So
Fourth.
Yeah.
fourth.
Oh,
okay.
I
well,
hopped around.
I want to
She
know
waddled.
more about just like what y'all are doing in sports as women. Any advice? How'd you
Women.
get here?
Do you want to start, Bella?
No, I think you have a better story than I do.
Amanda's like the wise one here.
I'm
Yeah.
the old one. I'm like 4 years older than all you guys.
Oh my gosh!
know.
Wow.
It really
so
makes me
much.
feel old. Who was it? One of you guys, it might have been Caroline, asked me if I was in my 30s. And it really hurt me.
Wait, that actually
Well, I
sucks.
think it was Annabelle, actually. It really hurt. I'm 26 for the record. Really hurt, but I am encroaching on 30. I'm getting really nervous.
No, you're not. You're fine.
Okay, so
It's like 4 years. Like,
No,
what?
yeah, like we're all friends.
Okay,
It's okay.
so I always wanted to work in sports because I played softball my whole life and I played in college and it's really all I know. So
Shout out SoCon.
go Bears. You're
Yeah.
not a
Well,
Bear
go
fan.
Paladins, but like go SoCon.
Go Shauna Clears.
Okay. Anyways,
So I always wanted to work in sports, and I graduated 2020 from college, so like peak COVID times, and there were no sports in 2020 because can't sit in a sporting event, and so they weren't really hiring for anyone. So I took the first job I got offered, which was social media and graphic design for a real estate agency because my mom
Oh.
was a real estate agent or is a real estate agent, and I was like, maybe I'll follow in her footsteps, I guess. So I tried that, and they fired me within 3 months. So then I
Why?
had to pivot. Well,
wait, yeah, you can't just stop there. Like,
Yeah, I got fired
they
and
didn't really tell me why is the thing. They just like brought me in. I was working from home, but I moved to Charlotte for this job.
I was gonna say, you're
Love
gonna tell-
Charlotte, by
gonna
the way.
say-
Shout out.
yeah, I want to go to Charlotte.
So I moved to Charlotte, didn't know anyone there. Started dating a boy, got this job. Okay, this is crucial information.
Crucial.
3 months later, they fired me. They didn't really tell me why. They just said, like, it's not really feeling like a good fit, even though I was, like, working from home. I moved to Charlotte, and they, like, didn't give me training or anything. They just had me working from home, and I did a great job, I think, personally, but they didn't think so. So they fired me. Same day, that guy broke up with me.
Oh, my gosh,
So I was alone in Charlotte. 22-year-old me, alone in Charlotte, jobless, boyfriendless, friendless. It was horrible. But I ended up making it work for like a year. I got another job working for Lowe's corporate because their headquarters are up there. So I did like data analytics for Lowe's, and it was horrible. It was horrible. And so after like a year of that, I was like, is this really what being an adult is? Like,
yeah,
this
like
is really
this is
scary.
post-grad.
Yeah, so it was post-grad. But nobody was, I was like applying for sports jobs. Nobody was giving me interviews, and I was like really upset. So I decided that the best course of action was like to go to grad school at a school that had a really good sports program. So I ended up getting in at Kentucky, go Cats, and I went there for a year and got my master's in marketing. And while I was there, I ended up getting a social media job for the University of Kentucky Athletic Department. And because their department is so like well known,
Yeah.
I'm
Especially
not kidding.
basketball.
Yes, and I worked basketball games, I worked football games, baseball, like all the sports. And I'm not kidding. Once I got that job, I got
The
every
world just
interview
opened up.
I'd ever applied for. Like I got interviews for the PGA, I got interviews for the MLB, NBA, like literally every single place I applied to.
That's crazy.
So advice number one is if you're at a school that has, or even not, it doesn't have to be like a great, well-known program like that. You just need to be in sports at your school. Like you have to get it on your resume.
That makes sense.
And it might suck, it might be unpaid, but you got to get it on your resume because you're not going to get interviews without having some sport internship on your resume. So that's advice number one. Anyways, from there, I got hired for the Atlanta Dream, WNBA. Shout out to the WNBA because that's like kind of popping off now.
It is.
And I moved back.
We
to
talk
Atlanta.
about that a lot here.
I love the WNBA. Worked there for a year, and I loved it. I just got an opportunity to work here, and I've always wanted to work in baseball specifically. Got an opportunity to work here a year later, and it's like the flagship of the Braves. Like that's as close to the Braves as you can get, really.
Yeah.
So I hopped on over here, and here I am today.
Yay.
That was me in a nutshell. I feel like I talked for too long. Sorry.
No, that was awesome. No, yeah. I think it's like really good, especially going into my senior year, almost hitting post-grad.
Yeah.
Just like knowing that it's all going to work out. It might not be that first year, but like you're going to be okay.
Yeah. And it feels like a long time when you're in it, but it happens really fast. So you just have to be patient because you'll end up at the right spot for you. So if your first job you take and you're not loving it, you have so much time to hop around and like figure out, I like this sport, I don't like this sport, I like college, I don't like pro, like whatever it is, you have time to hop around. Like I'm 26 and I'm on my 4th job. Actually 5th if we count Lowe's. So
do you think, I've been thinking a lot about this because Furman has like a data analytics minor, and just being here this summer and seeing all the sales side of it and how much data and just target audience, all that stuff matters. Like, do you think that doing that job almost prepared you for being in social media and marketing and like understanding numbers, or does it not have any effect?
Maybe a little bit. I didn't really think of it that way, but honestly, maybe a little bit because there are a lot of like analytics and KPIs that go into social media. Now, 680 The Fan's a little different because we're a little bit more lax when it comes to like social media numbers because we're kind of behind the times in social.
Yeah.
But, like when I was working at the Dream and at Kentucky, we had like monthly reports of KPIs, engagement rate, reach, engagement, like all this stuff. And I think I do have a better understanding of it because of that. But also when I went back to grad school, I had a class that was specific in like social numbers.
Interesting.
And so you do have to have an understanding of that, or at least have an understanding of like Hootsuite and those types of platforms that help you know the numbers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because another piece of advice when you're applying specifically with social media in sports, it's really important to have numbers in your resume. So like I grew this social media platform by X% year over year, or whatever the number is. Like people are really looking for the number version of what you did and accomplished.
So like I have a question about that because for my internship class for school right now, I had to read a book about LinkedIn. Do not recommend, but it was talking about.
Is there a video book for?
No, please, can we get the video book coming? But it was just talking about numbers, and I feel like my boss at Furman sent me like a whole page of like, hey, you were part of this. This is how much followers increase, engagement, whatever. But how can I use that? Like, I didn't run that account, but things that I did were used on that account. You know what I'm saying? So how can you use that to not take all the credit for it, but almost be, or just say that you were part of it?
The beautiful thing about a resume is you can make yourself look really good on it. So I would like,
Okay,
even
fair.
if you didn't run that specifically, you can tweak your words and say like, made content for whatever the account was that increased by this year over
Just
year.
word
Like,
choice.
It's word choice. It's like making sure that you have to brag about yourself on a resume. I think a lot of times girls don't want to be like bragging on themselves, even if it's on a resume and they're trying to get a job, but like that's the best place to do it. Like, I don't know if you've heard
We
the
know these
stories.
men are.
Yeah, the men are. Have you heard the stories at Barstool? They like completely lie about their resume and they get the job and they're like, oh, I made up half that stuff. Like, don't do that.
Yeah,
but like
no.
you have to like embellish your own successes on your resume, at least to get you in the door, and then from there,
Well, at least
like,
you get an interview, like
Exactly.
an interview at that point.
you can't lie in an interview, but you can lie on your resume a little bit. So it's
Yeah.
all about wording, I think.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Bella, it's your turn.
My turn.
Been waiting for this one.
It's funny because I didn't want to go into sports originally. I applied to college to be a charity worker because I loved like giving back, and I wanted to work for Make-A-Wish for a really long time. And then I kind of learned about like the money in that industry, and I was like, I love to do it, but I don't think I could be a career out of this. And then kind of like later down the line when I got into college, I saw their ESPN was having an opening and be like a digital assistant. And so I would basically be on site for, I would be in a rotation with a bunch of students being paid hourly. And I would be working the game cameras with the headset where they're like, follow like player number 12, make sure that like you get the ball, your white balance. Or I would be in the, in the van on ESPN call. I was just telling Amanda this like a few days ago, and like switching buttons and doing advertisements. So I think I like learned that I really like sports, but I got into like the more like on air stuff because I was able to like interview players. And then unfortunately Coastal and ESPN's partnership and agreement, there was some layoffs. My boss, who I really like, who went to Charleston to the Charleston baseball team, she left, and then I got this guy as my boss, and he wasn't my favorite person ever. So I ended up leaving ESPN and dabbling into radio. So I kind of was in college, communication major, went into journalism, and I was like taking any internship I got. I applied to like so much during college. Coastal doesn't have the best communication program. It is a very like up and coming school. So a lot of it was like news based, and I like went to my news teacher. I was like, I hate this. Like I was like, I can never be a news reporter. Like
I feel like everyone just says being in TV is so bad.
And I like said to her, I was like, I don't want to start in tumbleweeds. It's not something I want to do. It's not something I have time for. Sorry, like in my own financial and mental state, I can't be going to tumbleweeds and just reporting on news. It's not something I want to do. It's not something and I know you can't be picky at your first job, but I was like, I will do anything to not work in news. So she was like, why don't you dabble into like podcasting? And I actually called one of my mom's connections, Nate Burlinson, who's a CBS reporter, and he was like, you need to start somewhere. He's like, start online. And that was kind of like before influencing really started. When I started my podcast, it wasn't like a huge thing back then.
I feel like it's
because I was
grown in the
dabbling
past
in
2
like
years.
different names and when I started in reporting, and I started like going to the games, and I would just do like, I would be in the press box. So D. Jordan Strong, I interviewed him. I interviewed a few of the Coastal football players that, have been transferring all over. Grayson McCall, I interviewed some of them, and I got, Reese White on my podcast. So I was trying to build a name throughout college for myself, not only looking for internships and dabbling in different internships, because at some point when you're in college, you have to sacrifice something. And I was in a sorority, I was doing ESPN, I was doing WCC radio, and I also was trying to have a social life. And I was just like, this is like too much. What's really important to me? What should I cut out? And I ended up dropping my sorority because I was like, it's it's not benefiting me. Like, yeah, I have my own friends. So I feel like in college, when you're like trying to figure out your career and figure out, you have to sacrifice something. And like Amanda says, to get things on your resume. Because honestly, I don't think I would be here if I didn't get the experience. Because I know so many people who reach senior year of college who do not have a job, which is fine, but they don't have like all this experience. Like, I have a girlfriend who really wants to work in magazines, and she's like, but I have no experience. And then I say to her, you have to get an internship. She's like, well, I can't afford an internship that's not paid right now.
Yeah,
and then it's
that's the hard part about being in college.
So it's like you need to get to a point where you're going to, like, I was the type of person that always had 2 jobs in college. I always wanted to get to where I wanted to be. So, like, that was my determination. So, like, a lot of times when I tell people, it was like, who are going into college or who are still in college, like, you got to sacrifice something in order to, like, keep an internship and keep school. Because having an internship's hard. Like, I remember I would go from, I didn't have a car my sophomore year of college. So I would take the shuttle home, change, go to ESPN, come back, do a 7 o'clock show at WCCU Radio, and then I would go home. And it was like, I'm not getting paid for WCCU Radio. I get paid $8 an hour for ESPN, and I didn't really have a job. So I was like, you have to. So I felt like when I did WCCU Radio and I got athletes on there and did that, I kind of found my like passion for doing like social media and like kind of on air stuff. But my real social media experience is my Barstool. I always recommend to anyone is to find who runs your Barstool accounts at each school, because I will tell you, they are a company that really support their viceroy programs. When I was calling and applying for this job, I called all my managers and I was like, I need numbers, I need your help. Like, how can I get this going? And they were like really on, like, this is what you should have, this is what you should do. And they are like really supportive over there. And one thing, like, Barstool like is a very fun environment, but they're really supporting of their viceroys. Like, they want people to get jobs. Like, if you don't apply for the summer internship and you don't get it, they'll still keep you in the circle. So all these people that apply to that internship, I'm going to tell you right now, 90% of people who don't do the viceroy don't get the internship. Or unless you have a social media following. Now, that's a little different. But I will tell you, they will pick viceroys way over, like, quote unquote, like, regular people.
Yeah.
Because they want these people that do social media. And you sign like a whole contract and stuff, but that I think really helped me make my social media experience, because I had a guy who gave it to, who was in my boyfriend's fraternity and was like, hey, like, I'm leaving, like, do you want this account? And I was like, yeah, I'll take the Barstool account. I revamped it. I sold merch. And then I decided to have a team. So I searched for someone to run the Twitter, someone to run the TikTok, and they wanted to start dabbling in the Snapchat, but like that never really like landed well.
Yeah.
So I had to go find a team. I had to like host interviews, because their whole image is like, you can have an image, like a bad image with the school. So like, let's first say like you got in trouble for, you know, you got arrested your freshman year on campus for like underage drinking. They really don't like that, just because like behind that account sometimes gets a little fishy. Like when we played BYU, the guy that ran the account, the quarterback's mom contacted Coastal and we got in trouble. And a lot of kids got in trouble and they were saying things that wasn't nice. And Barstool, you know, you sign like a whole contract. So one of the things I really, really like always say to people is like, please contact your Barstool account. See what age they are, the chicks page, and just get involved. Because so many companies like that I did, I got some interviews before I came here, and they would ask me like, what'd you do for Barstool? Like, how did you get connected with Barstool? And I still have people that like, they'll reach out to me on LinkedIn and be like, what's your connection with Barstool? And it's like, oh, I ran the Viceroy page. And it's just such a great experience because
well, it's so well known.
And also too, it's like it is a remote internship and it isn't paid, but they are like on top of it. Like Dave comes on the Zooms, you know, Kelly Crook, like she comes on the Zooms. A lot of them all come on the Zooms, like, and they're so nice to the point where it's like, I lived next to New York, so I was able to go into the office and like meet everyone. Like I met Mean Girl Paul before they got fired. I met Dave when he was coming out. And they're just so nice. So one thing I was like, the internships really helped me determine what I wanted to do. And then my senior year of college, I am like a stress ball, and I would just like go to my friends. I was like, I need a job. Like I can't graduate college. Because to me, like, I feel like I sacrificed a lot to go to Coastal, And, you know, my brother plays football. And to me, I wanted to like do my parents like an award. I mean, like, I busted my ass in school. I want to get a job. Like, I want to show them I can get a job after college. Because, you know, like, everyone talks about Coastal being partying school, but it's like what you put into it. And yes, our graduation rate isn't the best, but it's because so many people party their way out of it. And I think that's like such too, is like you need to have a balance. So like for kids that are going to senior year of like college, find the internship. I know some schools make you get an internship in order to graduate. My boyfriend had to do it, so he had to move to Pittsburgh and work for the Penguins, and he did NHL for a little bit. My major didn't, so I, you know, did Barstool my entire senior year, and it really helped me get and develop connections because a lot of people gave me a chance on LinkedIn to hear my side of the story and what I wanted to do. And LinkedIn is like, I don't think you need to have a class on LinkedIn. I was telling one of my advisors right before I left, go to Atlanta, was like, we need you to come and like tell people how you did it. And I was like, but LinkedIn is not that hard. You just need to sit down. I always say the 20-minute rule to people. 20 minutes every single day. If you sit to LinkedIn for 20 minutes, search companies, search who works there, what are they hiring, what's their like, you know, revenue. Look into companies. 20 minutes a day will get you so much more farther than anyone that's just like partying in like college. I mean, you can do both. It's just, I say the 20-minute rule because if you do 20 minutes on LinkedIn every day, you could get more farther, like, by your graduate. Like, someone could reach out to you and be like, oh my God, like, I know we talked back in January, but here's a job opening. Like, it's crazy that people will answer on LinkedIn, just sending them a message. I sent out maybe, like, not even kidding you, 600 messages to random people. Hi, my name is Isabel Shue. I'm a senior in Coastal Carolina. I'm looking to move to Atlanta after graduation. I would love to hear like how you ended up in Atlanta. How'd you get to where you were? And I, you know, like Amanda said, you're gonna have a lot of jobs. And I'm grateful that I got this one to experience like sports social media and being more involved. Cause like Barstool was like very laid back and we were allowed to, you know, make errors and make mistakes and
exactly.
make it like very nonchalant, you know, people shotgunning beers and it would go completely viral for no reason. And I'm like kind of learning that here with like the audiences. Cause you know, my audience was all college kids and all kids that like are looking to come to Coastal or they're like JMU hates us. So they're always looking at our like Barstool. And I felt like this is like a totally different audience and I'm like getting used to like learning things and Amanda's really helped like how to, you know, target that audience that she's been here so she knows who's watching, how we can do things to get better. And I also say to people, I mean, Amanda, I don't know how you felt when I was interviewing, but drive there. There was a lot of times where I was like, Amanda sent me that last email and was like, you can come in and get an interview with David, or I can ask him if his Zoom's okay. And I read that email.
She read between the lines.
I read between the lines. I read it to all my friends in my college living room, and I was like, what the hell do I do? I graduate in 2 weeks. I really don't have time to do this. And my parents were like, that is a complete test. Drive. I packed my stuff. I had my roommate watch my dog. I drove down. I came down like 4 times here?
Yeah.
I came here 4 times. And I know people in college, like, they're like, I don't have time to do it. Like, if you can try to get down there.
If you want the job, you're gonna do it.
Like, I came to Atlanta like twice and I went to Sirius XM. I went to Cox Media in Athens.
Yeah.
I like toured a bunch of places and it's really like the grind of what you really want to do. Like Amanda said, back to, you know, the job hunting. It is like, I love what I do now, but do I think like I would love to get into like more on air stuff eventually and like try to grow and like do that 100%. But I really do love social media because there's so many outlets. Like you can make videos and still have that on air experience and like tie it, which I really like. And, you know, I'm kind of like just like learning about sports. I mean, I went through so many changes in college, what I wanted to do. At one point, I wanted to be an entertainment reporter. At one point, I wanted to move back to New York, and now I'm in Atlanta. So everything, like, I feel like kind of changes, and that's, like, okay.
It's almost like trial and error. And
yeah,
like
and
just putting your foot in the door.
And I always tell people, there was a lot of people I met that were like, I wish people your age, like, someone helped me. And that's how, like, I got a connection here because the guy that I connected with, Justin, was like, I wish someone after college helped me. Like, and I want to pass that on. Do not be greedy during this process. I always say that to people. I hate greedy people because they're struggling just as much as you are. And I always tell people, like, I'm an open book. Like, every time I get a connection call, I'm like, go through my connections, let me know. Like, I have a really good, like, a lot of people I connected with, like, I know from home or I stayed in touch. Like, I am so open to, like, passing my connections.
Well, I can attest to that when we talked about Barstool.
Yeah,
I'll literally reach out to anybody.
Yeah, like, I don't really care. And I think one thing about what I've learned through this process is don't be greedy. I mean, like, my mom just raised me like that. Like, do not be greedy. Always, I know, like, when I was little, I would never share my toys, but as I got
character development.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Never shared. I was never shared because I was an only child for a little bit. But my mom always said, like, don't be greedy during this process because there's so many people that were in your shoes or who's going to be in your shoes who are going to reach out to you and be like, hey, like, I'm a senior in college. Like, I really want to do this. I love what you do. And there's people who are, like, at Coastal that will still text me and be like, hey, can I put you as a reference? Like, I know we worked together for a little bit. I'm like, yeah. Just tell me when they call me because sometimes I do not answer my phone. So if I don't see a number, it'll be like spam, delete.
Yeah.
But like, it's all a learning process. I definitely do want to stay in sports. That is 100% I would love to do. But if I did get the opportunity to go into entertainment reporting, it would be cool to do.
Yeah.
But I really do love sports. My brother plays college football. I love that experience. And I, like Amanda says, you kind of learn what you like. I personally love college football more than the NFL. I don't know what it is.
I think, honestly, a lot of
college football is just so much better to watch. Like, and there's nothing against the pro leagues. It's just, it's more fun. It's a lot of tension, working with, like, even with Barstool. I remember when, like, Coastal was, like, playing, like, you know, BYU or App State, and we, like, you know, talk trash on the Twitter, and it gets, like, people riled up, and it was cool to, like, make a video. One of my projects for Barstool was to make a tailgate video, and it was awesome to see, like, the App State, like, try to come into the tailgate. Like, it was just a cool atmosphere.
It's just, like, it has a different aura to it.
And, like, especially in Atlanta, a lot of people are UGA fans, and, like, in New York, where I'm, like, outside New York where I'm from, like, that's not, like, a thing. So it's so interesting to see, like, how many people are UGA fans here and not Falcons. Like, I think people are kind of Falcons fans, but college football is, like, taking over.
Good.
Yeah.
The Falcons aren't good, and Georgia is. So it's like, obviously people are going to go.
But I feel like college football is more shined upon here than it is pros.
That's like a Southern thing, I think. That's
Yeah.
like in all of the SEC.
Because, like, New York, it's like the Giants, they suck.
Well, and also, like, Philadelphia Eagles, like, I mean, their tailgate
TikTok
situation
is crazy.
Well, and their tailgating is insane. Like, those fans
That is the one pro team, as someone who's dating someone from Philly, I don't understand it. Like, at weddings, they do, like, you know, the fly, Eagles fly chant, and I don't understand it. Like, my parents are Giants, like, my brother's a Giants fan. Well, not my brother. My dad's a Giants fan, and my brother's, like, a Browns fan. And we're not, like, a big NFL just because of my brother, but the Eagles are, like, a different breed.
Yeah, they are.
Like, their TikToks. Like, have you seen those fan TikToks? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Their moods are determined if they win or not. It's crazy.
But, like, I would say the same thing for people in the South with college football.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
College football more than pros, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, was that, like, common near you or no?
Oh, God, no. I'm from California, and some people care about football, but not really.
Yeah.
It's nothing compared to the South. Like, the South is dominant when it comes to football. Also, I wanted to peel back the layer for advice on, like, how to get jobs in sports on Bella's interview process, because I interviewed her the whole way.
Yes, please enlighten us.
And I picked her to be my lovely content coordinator. And I just wanted to give a couple pieces of advice. Bella. So I think one thing that stood out about her resume was like the internships, like the ESPN and Barstool stood out above a lot of other people. And then I think the second thing that really stood out is, like she said, you can probably tell by her personality, she was very, like, persistent on getting the job, which I know. I think a lot of people are scared to be annoying, because I was that way at first too. But I'm telling you, you're not going to be annoying if you're trying to get a job. Like, the people are going to really appreciate.
I sent an email every other week.
She did. But that also, other people didn't, though. So, like, me and Scott, when we were deciding between you and a couple other people, we're like, well, she's the only one that sent an email to check on the job every week. The other people clearly don't care as much because they checked in once or maybe twice. But Bella was there every Monday.
I had a time. Monday at 3, actually. I had it in my calendar because I would say to my friends, I'm like, I haven't heard anything. They're like, oh, maybe it's just a little slow there. I'm like, no, like, I feel like
I was about to say, we are at 680.
But I didn't know that. So that was like another thing going into the job is you get a read of the atmosphere, and I like loved it so much, and I really wanted this job. And there was like some other opportunities I got, but this one really stood out to me because it had like that more like personality touch to it.
It definitely does.
Yeah, and coming and walking through and meeting everyone, like I just loved it. And all these other places that offered me, like it was the walkthroughs were so boring. No one really wanted to talk to me because I was a college student. So the guy would like take me around. No one would speak to me. And so when I like interviewed here, I was like, I really want it. And when I tell you, like looking back, how annoying I was to my friends, I'm like, guys, like they haven't emailed me. Like, what do I do? And they're like, Bella, stop. And
you're like, Monday at 3.
Yeah,
well, I don't believe in
clockwork shoot email, but I loved it though. Like, it's not annoying, and you probably think in your head, like when I was trying to get jobs, I did the same thing. I emailed or sent LinkedIn messages, and I'm like, this person hates me, but it really does stand out to people. So like, don't be afraid.
The one thing is, the week that I got the job, I was bartending at my college job, and one kid who ended up being a friend of someone who's work here's kid goes to Charleston. He had a 680 the t-shirt on. He walked into
680 the t-shirt.
680 the fan t-shirt.
Let's put that on the
t-shirt. Literally the 680 t-shirt. The white one. Walked into my bar and I was like, what the hell? Like, what? And I was like, 680 the fan? And he was like, wait, how do you know that? I was like, I just applied for a job there. And I guess his dad like does some partnerships here or whatever. And I was telling him, and he's like, oh, this could be a sign for you. And like 3 days later, I got the job, and my mom's like,
that's kind of crazy.
Wait, that's
I know.
actually awesome.
Out of
I
a bar
love
in
stories
South
like
Carolina, a kid walks in from Charleston. He's wearing 680 the fan t-shirt. And he's like, no one knows what 680 the fan is in South Carolina.
That's actually a lie. I go to school with David Dukes. So I'm in South Carolina.
Yeah, but like in Myrtle Beach,
No,
like
yeah,
that's
I
not like
get
a
that, I
common
get that.
thing. And so when
Greenville, it's known.
when he walked into the bar, all my like coworkers were like, did you see the t-shirt? And I was like, yeah, because they knew I was like applying for this job. And as soon as I got the job, I quit. And you know what?
Wait, I have a similar story actually when I was trying to get into sports. So I told you I went to Kentucky, and that's kind of like what changed my trajectory. Well, I left Charlotte to go to Kentucky, and it was like a whole thing. I'd have to pay for it. I have to like quit my job. Like it was a whole thing. So I was deciding for a good like 2 weeks if I should take the leap and go to Kentucky or just stay and figure it out in Charlotte.
And work in Lowe's.
And work at Lowe's. Yes. And so I went to dinner with my friends in Macon, Georgia. Okay. Middle of
Nowhere. Literally nowhere.
Don't get me started on Macon. Anyway, I was in Macon, Georgia with my friends. I walk into the restaurant that we were going to. The waitress at the front had a Kentucky shirt on. I was like, that's weird in the middle of Georgia. Like Kentucky, we're right next to UGA. Like that's kind of a weird school.
Yeah, like why Kentucky?
Yeah. And then I go to leave home from this restaurant, and right in front of me, a Kentucky license plate. And I swear to God, that night I was like, I'm going. Like that's a sign.
Like, yeah.
That's
It literally
amazing.
changed the whole trajectory of my life. I swear, it was crazy.
And that's like, I kind of like, in this whole process of like getting jobs and telling all my friends about your career, you're not gonna have it figured out by when you graduate. And I need to take that advice because I try to plan out my entire like next like 7 years of my life. I get myself overwhelmed like daily, but I tell Amanda this all the time, and it doesn't work out. So you are gonna be seniors or you just graduated, you'll all figure it out. Like I tell all my friends too. They're like, I can't believe you have a job. Like, I don't. Everyone's field is so different. So don't compare yourself. Like, my friend wants to go into the government. She's like, I don't have a job yet. Like, you have to do an 8 months clearance. Like,
yeah. But I feel like that's really good advice because we had a conversation a few weeks ago just like about jobs and post-grad and schools.
You're not
and
going to have it all
whatnot.
figured out. And it sucks.
But I like literally went home and I texted my boyfriend and I was like, I'm so scared. I don't know what I'm going to do post-grad. He's like, Chloe, you haven't even stepped foot in senior year yet.
Yeah.
He's like, literally piped out. Like, you're going to be okay.
And you're not going to have it all planned out. Like Amanda said, she went to Charlotte, she went to Kentucky, then came here. I got this job like 2 weeks before I graduated. Like,
Yeah.
I could have easily went home. So I was stressing out, and I had a conversation with you about this. Your senior year, do a balance. Do not stress yourself out, because I felt like I was stressed out my entire senior year and I didn't really have fun. And like that's something like I'm glad that I am where I am, but there's a part of me that like wish I spent that last time with my friends. I wish I didn't really miss out on certain opportunities because I was so stressed out about getting a job and I was so determined that I kind of like let my fun a little go, which is okay.
Yeah.
But like I said to you, like,
It's like college goes so fast and you just,
and
you're
I'm like,
out of it
oh, like I'm
fast.
so over, like, you know,
Yeah.
my bar was called Tongies, like over Tongies and Tav, like I don't want to go there again. And it's like, I know.
What names, bro?
Yeah, Tongies, Smack House, and like the Crooked Floor, and
I
Crooked Floor
would not
Tavern.
show up there. I would literally not go.
But like I say like that all the time, like there was parts of things I wish I just like went to a little bit. So that's why I always say the 20-minute rule to people because it's just better just to like balance everything.
Yeah. And on that, if you're looking to get in sports, a couple websites I recommend. Obviously, LinkedIn.
Bless you.
Yes, bless you to the peanut gallery.
Yeah. Peanut gallery.
LinkedIn, obviously, but a lot of professional teams put their jobs on Teamwork Online. So if you're looking for pro teams, that's where you're going to want to go. And if you want to be in college, you're either going to want to look at skullsparks.com. They also
I didn't know that either when you first told me.
They have a bunch of, they're all like creative. Skullsparks is like, whoa, I just glitched. Specifically for like creative.
I glitched.
Because I was going to say, I've used School Sparks for like templates or design stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't
also
know
have
they had jobs
for, like,
on there.
Creatives in college sports specifically. And then lastly, NCAA Market has all jobs in all of college sports, from coaching to social to trainers, like all that stuff. So that's where I would look if you're looking for sports.
I love
Or
that.
Teamwork. I also heard Teamwork's a really good
Yeah,
one.
that's
Yeah.
I love Teamwork. That's where I got my job with The Dream, was from Teamwork.
Well, look, the job here was closed, and I was the last one to put my application
I
in.
got your application in late.
Yeah.
And the reason I accepted it was because we knew who you were because you had come and toured like a couple weeks before.
I met
didn't know who you were because I
No.
was like at spring training or something and I wasn't there that week.
You're in Florida.
Yeah, but everyone was like, this girl came and toured. She seems interested. You should check it out. I'm like, fine, I'll take one.
You're like,
Yeah.
dang it.
Matt Eggert was like, can you open it, Scott, one last time? She was like, if she sends it today by like, I think like 3:00.
Yeah.
And I went home and like, it's like that TikTok says like, dun, 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 dun. That was me. I was
It's like
like,
tunnel vision.
Yeah.
You just have to get it done.
I know.
That makes sense.
and it's like scary. I kind of really feel for people because I thought I could be like, you know, after college, like going in it, being super confident and like growing. Like I was telling you, it's like, it's very different. So take your time because I felt like I rushed a little too much.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel very educated and honestly more calm like going into senior year. I think that the balance thing is
You
gonna
have a
be
lot of
huge
experience.
thing.
So if you have a decent amount of experience, like you'll be fine. It's just the people that don't have a single experience and they wonder why they're not getting a job in finance when they haven't get an internship. I don't know. Like it's like different people. Like there's so many people that don't have experience and they're like, I wonder why it's so. Like I have people call me and they're like, I don't know how I can't get a job. I'm like, you have no experience. You have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And you have like one thing or like two things. More the
merrier.
Yeah.
But also balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
I hate adulting.
It's scary.
It's
Adulting
scary.
is
It gets
hard.
better.
Yeah.
It does, I think. I guess I don't know. I'm not 30 yet.
I'm at the age
According to Zamino, adulting starts at 26.
Yeah. He said I can't make mistakes anymore. When
I got
turn
3
26.
years.
Yeah.
well,
Told me
more
on my
like
birthday,
two.
it's like, happy
two.
birthday, no more mistakes. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, like 26 evidently is the deadline.
Yeah. Also, too, it's like I'm in this weird stage. I'm like, am I supposed to like ask my mom if I could like come home a certain date? Like, it's like so weird. Like, I like my
You're
mom.
just like it's literally day by day.
Yeah, day by day, it's so weird because like I'll call my mom and my mom's like, you haven't called me this week. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry.
I'm just like adulting. I'm just like on my own now.
I know, like
Sorry.
family. And then, like I was telling Amanda this when I first, I'm like, you know, like vacation days, like in college, like I just
Bella was freaking out about her vacation. I've never gotten so many questions about vacation days.
I was like, oh my God. Because I like, you don't realize how much things are going on. Like I was in college, I just like asked my professors and it was like, no big deal. And now, like, you know, you're in the big world, you only get certain amount of vacation days or sick days and like personal days. And I'm like, oh God, I'm in a wedding. I like totally forgot. Oh God, I got a family vacation. Oh God, Christmas. Oh God, Thanksgiving. Like,
See, like I'm missing my family vacation right now. My whole family is at the beach right now.
where are they?
New Smyrna. It's like near Orlando, Daytona. But the thing is that I think this does go back to balance but also experience. Like coming into this week, I knew it was the last week of the internship. I was like, no,
Yeah.
can't leave now. And also, like, I did the thing with SoCon on Monday with Media Day, and I was like, this is one day out of the whole year. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I'll go next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like me and Jackie shadowed Kevin McAlpin this week, so got to
There
go
was
to the
a lot
clubhouse.
going on,
There's just a
yeah.
lot going on. Like, I didn't want to miss out on those opportunities, and because I love sports, like I wanted to be here, but like it does suck. Like my family's gonna come back tan and happy, and I'm gonna be like, okay, cool, going to school, bye.
Yeah.
But
That is a sacrifice you make in sports, though, because that's just
Yeah.
how it is. You're going to have weekends.
I was
that
about
you
to
have
say
work,
weekends is crazy.
holidays. Not
Yeah.
all of them, but like there are going to be days where you have to miss things, but that's just the beauty of the game.
Yeah, that is.
You gotta
something.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta be passionate
Because
about
like
it.
some weekends there's stuff going on, and then I'm like, oh,
But there's also pros, like free tickets.
yeah.
Yeah,
Going into the clubhouse like you guys did. Like there's a lot of pros, too. You just have to be passionate about it.
yeah.
My boyfriend did say one thing. Once you like work for a team or like you work a while in sports, like you'll never have to pay for a sports game ever really again. If you think about it, if you're working with a team or you're working with like a partnership or something like that, you'll never really have to pay for a ticket again. And I was like, that's so true. Like I didn't even think about it. Like he gets free tickets to the Hawks. Like we get tickets to go to the Braves. You know, he had tickets to go to NHL games when he wanted to.
Yeah.
Which brings me to, you have to be careful of your friends now because
You do.
there are friends who are like, hey, can I get a ticket? I'm like, I haven't spoken to you in 6 years.
It's like the people that think they're gonna be invited.
Exactly.
It's like the people who think they're gonna be invited to your wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to be at your guys' wedding. Oh yeah, sure, you'll be there. Not.
Not,
definitely
not.
not.
Well, yeah. When I took Dawson to like our first Braves game together, he was like,
that I saw you at.
yes.
Yes.
He was like, wow, having a girlfriend in sports is really cool. And I'm like, oh no, don't just keep me around for this. No, but I mean, going back to free games, like Furman's playing Ole Miss the first weekend of the year, and like I didn't have to pay for a ticket. Like we're going to Ole Miss, and I didn't have to pay for a ticket.
Yeah.
I'll be
Also,
there. Like-
also too, it's so crazy. Kind of, you know, pivoting like kind of about tickets, is that if you have a sibling that plays in like college, like football or sports, they do a full background check on you. And I didn't know this. My mom's like asking me for certain information. I'm like, why are you asking me about this, and that? And she was like, well, they're doing a full background check on you because they give like so many people free tickets that they give you a certain amount of tickets. You have to get a background check. So you have to write everyone on your list and everyone has to be approved. And I was like, what happens if like, you know, you got like a little charge? They're like, they won't give you a free ticket. Like
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I actually didn't
they do
know
like a
that.
full background check. My mom's like, what's Ryan's like birthday and like what's his address? And I was like, why? They're like, they're doing a background check on him. I'm like, oh.
Like,
But you get, like you said, once you work in sports or you have like a sibling that is, you'll never really have to pay for.
yeah, which is awesome. Honestly,
Woo.
I know.
I have to pee so bad.
I know. Yeah, we're wrapping up. Well, I want to thank y'all so much for just talking to us about life, post-grad advice. I think this was like the best way to kind of end this season of Internalize, which is like so sad. I'm like gonna cry later. No, it's fine. But next intern class, take care of these two. They're awesome, and take all their advice. Ask questions. That's another thing that I'll say on my advice. Ask questions because people do want to help you. You just have to seek it out yourself. And yeah, this concludes this season.
Ruh-roh.
All right, love everyone. Go Braves.
Go Braves.
Go 680 The Fan. And maybe see you, maybe not. Bye.
You're never leaving.
This Jersey girl has no filter.
So are you getting a lot of hate?
Yeah, a lot of hate.
Bullshit.
Welcome to BS with Bella.